Hello there everybody, my name is Waddles, how are you? Welcome to 5 tips for caving underwater. As we all know, 1.13 is shaping up to be, or depending on when you're watching this, was a massive update. In 1.13, underwater ravines and caves were added. And today I'm going to go through 5 tips and tricks that will help you cave out these underwater caves if you're trying to cave them for whatever reason. As of the time of me recording this video, there isn't necessarily anything insanely interesting in the underwater caves, but you never know what the devs decide to do. There's tons of potential for tons of underwater ruins. And when I say ruins, I mean not only the new ruin structure, but pretty much anything underwater. All of these tips apply to underwater exploration in general and will all be useful. Before we get right into the tips, I ask you one favor. If this video helps you out, if you enjoy it, if it entertains you at all, do me a favor and drop a like on this video or maybe even subscribe. That kind of stuff really helps me out and helps me do what I do. And of course, feel more than free to go drop one extra idea, one piece of advice down in the comments below. I always love to learn from you guys. Well, let's get into 5 tips for caving underwater. Armor is really important in this game. It can make your adventure or your job a whole lot easier. And that is why tip 1 is the armor. You really want to get this right because water isn't fun to be under. You're going to want a good water helmet and a good pair of water boots. In terms of a water helmet, you could go with a turtle shell helmet. That works very cool. It seems to block your eyes, but it works. Or you could go with a diamond helmet or an iron or a gold, whatever type of helmet you want, but there are some enchantments you're looking for on this helmet. The enchantments that you really want to get is respiration and aqua affinity. You could of course throw in unbreaking for duration, but it's all up to you. Aqua affinity will speed up how fast you can mine things underwater. This is insanely helpful, and respiration lets you stay under the water a whole lot longer. Now in terms of your fancy water boots, you want Depth Strider. Depth Strider will let you move a whole lot faster in water. Now I do know of course about the whole fast swimming thing, and that is going to be your ideal way of getting around, but Depth Strider won't hurt, right? It doesn't hurt to be able to move a little faster when you're walking underwater. When compared to on-land combat, underwater combat is a whole separate beast. Now I'm not very good at either, but I can definitely give you a little bit of a tip here. Bows won't work very well underwater. You don't need to worry about a bow. Underwater, what you want to bring is either a trident, and you can throw all of the trident enchantments on it if you want. They will only help. Or you could get a sword. This is the ideal sword that I like to use, especially underwater. Knockback will be a bit annoying underwater. A lot of people don't like knockback on land, and if that is you, you really won't like it underwater. And then maybe you want to take a shield with you as well, because like I said, you will have to get a little bit more up close to the enemies underwater. Now keep in mind, sometimes underwater caves do connect to non-underwater caves, so maybe keep a bow with you. It's all up to you, it's your call. Tip number 3, the tool that you're gonna mine with. This is another important one. Speed is key underwater. Everything is slowed down underwater, which is annoying. So of course you're gonna wanna get a tool with efficiency on it. Now, as with any mining trip, you want to think about what you're going down into the caves to do. Are you going to silk things or are you going to fortune things? Plan out a little bit before you go down into the water and get fortune on your pick or get silk on your pick. But speed is really important here underwater because you have a limited time. You can't really take your time in terms of mining things. With those first 3 equipment gathering based tips out of the way, it's time to go into the caves. Now, in the caves, you might want to light things up. You don't want drowned spawning everywhere, or maybe you want to find your way back out. Now, torches don't work underwater, of course, so the next best thing is jack-o'-lanterns. I advise you to take jack-o'-lanterns with you in the caves. They're really cheap to make as long as you have a pumpkin farm. They're only 1 torch and a pumpkin. So take jack-o'-lanterns and mark your way in the cave. Now, like I said before, the caves could go into an underwater cave, so like, a normal cave. So jack-o'-lanterns will come in handy in these too, because they light up a whole lot of space. And look at this one, I got lucky, kinda, with a mine shaft here. I get to explore a maze, yay. If you have a lot of valuable things, you could even take sea lanterns. As of 1.13, you don't need to have dirt under jack-o'-lanterns to place them anymore, so they're very easy to use in these underwater caves. And my final piece of advice for you is setting up checkpoints. This is very important. When someone comes to me and says, hey Waddles, I'm new to the game, I need some caving tips, some advice, I always say make checkpoints. You want to make a checkpoint in case you die ever in the caves. In underwater caves, you are a lot more likely to die because of something silly like drowning. So every once in a while, clear out a little bit of space. This area was actually naturally clear, and set a chest, a furnace, and a crafting table down. So you will need to take some wood with you, some cobblestone, of course, but I'm going over some more unique things in this video. And every so often come back to these checkpoints and dump stuff out. Put it in here and maybe mark where it is. Write your coordinates down or just know where your little checkpoint is. I would say do these every so often. When you start getting full and you feel like maybe it would be bad if I die, make a checkpoint. Now, because of the new water mechanics in 1.13, checkpoints can be a little annoying to make, so we'll talk about that real quick. To make a little checkpoint, what you want to do is find a wall. You need a solid wall and dig into the wall. The water will fill in, then dig in again, and the water will not fully fill in. That's how you can make a little checkpoint. So then you make a little room in here, and mine seems to go into another cave, but still, make a room, put a chest, a crafting table, basically a little air pocket here. Maybe light it all up so you can actually see what's going on, and do that kind of stuff every once in a while. Now, careful about digging all the walls out because you could have the water fill in there really easily, and that kind of defeats the purpose of the checkpoint. You want air and safety in your checkpoint, not danger. But those are 5 tips from me to you for caving and exploring and working underwater. Again, they're a lot more caving focused, but they will of course work when you're not in the cave. Water equipment will help you anywhere. So now I ask you one more favor. Go drop one extra idea in the comments below. What is one piece of advice you could give somebody for caving or working or exploring underwater? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, maybe even subscribe if you haven't yet. My name is Waddles. I hope you enjoyed. Go have a good day. Goodbye, everybody.